We also have Councilperson Greenwell signed in to PrimeGov.
Yes, I'm present.
Michelle, this is Francis.
Yes, sir.
Just double checking in the participants list, panelist list. I don't see either of your folks in yet.
So I just called.
I just saw Jennifer's in.
Yes, I talked to her and she said she was signing in. I will call Dennis.
Thank you.
Chris, can I test your microphone?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear him, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Great.
Francis Lenders, do you see Dennis Whaley now?
Yes, they have both been made co-hosts, so Jennifer should be able to present without a problem, and either of them should be able to open their microphones without a problem.
Thank you.
With themselves.
Have we heard from Councilman Stonecipher?
I have not.
Okay, thank you. Chairman Edwards? It
Yeah.
is 2 o'clock, and do you have a script to read? You do have quorum present.
Thank you. I will go ahead then. To the members, thanks for joining us for the video conference meeting. We have a few announcements to make regarding this video conference meeting. If the video conference is disconnected at any time during the meeting, The meeting shall be stopped and reconvened once the connection is restored. If communications are unable to be restored within 30 minutes, items remaining for consideration will be continued to later today, July 21st at 4:00 p.m. via video conference. The agenda and documents are located on okc.gov. And anyone wishing to speak about an agenda item, public hearing, or to speak under citizens to be heard, please call 405-297-2422 or email ocwt-support@okc.gov. Please provide your name, phone number, the item number, and the reason you wish to comment. If you call in after your item has been heard, you will be allowed to speak under citizens to be heard. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes to comment. Speakers will not be able to unmute themselves, so you must sign up to speak and will be unmuted when you are recognized. Moving to call to order. I'll do that. First item of business is a resolution of appreciation for David Greenwell. And Francis, I will turn it to you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Whereas the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust is a public trust created under Title 60 of the Oklahoma Statutes 1960 for the primary purpose of financing the construction, installation, maintenance, improvement, and repair of the water and wastewater systems for the city of Oklahoma City. Whereas David Greenwell was sworn in as trustee council member and elected as vice chairman on May 23rd, 2017. Whereas the Water Trust would like to recognize Vice Chairman Greenwell for his service. Whereas Vice Chairman Greenwell has attentively carried out his duties, preserving the health and welfare of our citizens by ensuring the city consistently provides clean, reliable drinking water and treated wastewater. Whereas under Vice Chairman Greenwell's tenure, the trust sustained the highest rated long-term bond rating possible by Standard & Poor's and Moody's, placing the Water Trust in the top 5% of water and wastewater utilities nationwide, thereby giving the trust the lowest possible borrowing rates. Whereas during the Vice Chairman's leadership, major capital projects improved water and wastewater services in the city, including development of the lake level management plan and commencement of the interconnect project between the plants and the second Atoca pipeline. Whereas the Vice Chairman Greenwell's service has ensured future generations of Oklahomans will have a reliable, safe, and resilient water supply, sustaining future growth and development in central Oklahoma. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the trustees of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust that they do hereby gratefully recognize the contributions of David Greenwell for his leadership, dedication, and guidance during his service to the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust.
I'd like to thank you very much, David, and we would need a motion to move forward with this from someone. Moved by Jessica Martinez Brooks, seconded by Craig Freeman. It's adopted. David, you've been great.
Carl, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was not expecting that, so that was a very pleasant surprise, and thank you again. Appreciate that. And to all the trustees, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next
Mr.
item.
Chairman,
Yes.
the trustees still need to vote.
The trustees vote.
We still need to take a vote.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Vote. Passes. David Greenwell has been given the resolution of appreciation and with all the thanks that we can for what he's done for us.
Thank you.
Next item is the consideration of nomination and the election of a vice chair of this Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust to take David Greenwell's place. And I would recognize a nomination.
I would nominate Jessica.
I'm sorry. Nominated Jeff.
Jessica Martinez Brooks.
Sorry. Is there a second?
I'll second myself. Thank you.
There's been-
That's kind of a
Thank
tough
you.
position.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Are there any other nominations or considerations? Then we will vote. All in favor of Jessica becoming the next member for David Greenwell's position as vice chair? And we have a yes? Don't we?
Not yet.
No. All these machines.
Trustee Greenwell,
We're waiting on one.
Okay.
Councilman Greenwell, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Yes, I would like to vote yes. I cannot get the voting screen to show up on my computer. So if I can do a verbal vote, I'd like to vote yes.
Okay, thank you. You may try clicking escape or
Yeah.
calling up your Chrome.
Okay. Yeah. I had it for the first one. It's just not working now.
Okay, well, we'll consider you voting yes, and we'll move to the next item.
Thank you.
Next item is the minutes of the July 7th, 2020 Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust meeting. And I would recognize a motion that these minutes be approved and look for a second as well. It passes. Thank you. We'll move on. We will now move to the consent docket. We've got 8 items that I will suggest that we approve together unless someone has any discussion they wish on any individual item. And I would recognize a motion to that effect. We've got it passed. Any questions? We'll move forward. Thank you. Next is the concurrence docket. We'll start out with number A,
Can do one motion.
and we'll do one motion for A. And it's concurrence with the city of Oklahoma City in approving amendment number 3 and change order number 4 with Young Contracting LLC, projects DC-0271, Phase 3, drainage improvements, Brock Creek and Twin Creek drainage basins, WC-0960, water line replacement, and SC-1033, sewer line replacement, Southwest 19th Street and Westwood Boulevard to Southwest 15th Street and Barnes Avenue, an increase of $16,565.96. No OQUT funds will be used. I'd recognize a motion to that effect.
Question, are we approving the concurrence docket as a whole?
We
Or just-
can. I was doing just A.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Waiting for the yes votes. Passes. Now we'll move into B. Concurrence with the city of Oklahoma City in approving amendment number 3 with Bishop Paving Company, Inc., projects PC-0452, street widening improvements, TC-0488, traffic signal installation, and WC-0934, waterline lowering, northwest 150th Street from Meridian to MacArthur, a decrease of $440,461.48, accepting the project and placing maintenance bond into effect. There's no Oakwood funds involved. Recognize a motion to that effect. We approve it. Moving forward, we now have items for individual consideration. Item A, ratifying and approving addenda numbers 1 through 4, revising plans and specifications, adding a geotechnical report and Davis-Bacon wage rates, postponing bid opening date and answering questions, awarding contract to Wynn Construction Company, Inc., project WC 0863, balancing tank replacements for Atoca pipeline pump stations, Stonewall, Ada, and Konawa, Oklahoma, $16,713,278, and approving contract and bonds. We will have a vote. It passes. Item B, master agreement with Nazarinas, Stack, and Wambacher as agent and attorney, and Brown and Caldwell, ongoing consulting and engineering services, Oklahoma City, Kiamichi River Project. Any questions, comments? If not, we'll vote. It passes. Moving on, agreement with Kutak Rock LLP for general special tax counsel and disclosure counsel services, retroactive to July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021. Recognize a vote. This passes. Thank you. Are there any items from trustees? Seeing no items from trustees, there's general manager report. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First and most importantly, on behalf of the staff and me personally, Vice Chairman Greenwell, I would like to express our deepest appreciation for your support and your counsel while being a member of the trust. We've done a lot of good things with the help of your leadership. So thank you very much. And we wish you well into the future.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah. You know, the closer I get to classes beginning, the more I'd prefer staying on this board and not have to take on those new responsibilities. But you all have done a great job, and I know you'll continue to be very successful, and you provide such an important service to the citizens of Oklahoma City, as well as all the other communities. And I want to thank all you and all your staff for a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Secondly, congratulations, Madam Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I look forward to being the best vice chair I can be.
And I'm sure you will be a great vice chair. Thanks for volunteering.
Hey, no problem. And I seconded myself. That's how bad I want to be vice chair.
I'm telling you, that's dedication. And then finally, we have Dennis Whaley with PFM. He's going to give us a report on our quarterly financial plan and our commercial paper program. So Dennis, you're up.
Can folks hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Dennis Whaley. I am with PFM. We are the financial advisor to Aquit, and with me today is Jen Arndt, who also works with me as financial advisor to Aquit. So we have a presentation today. We're going to walk through an update of the commercial paper program, tell you the results of the OWRB FAP loan, and also talk about the finance plan and give you an update on that as well. So on page 2, quick update of the overview of the CP program. Aquit has a $350 million approval from State Street for borrowing under the CP program. Currently, Aquit is utilizing only $275 million of that authorization, as well as Aquit is only paying for $275 million worth of that authorization. We are stair-stepping the program to 350 as awards are phased in for the second Atoca pipeline project. And this stair-step process is part of the 10-year finance strategy. The CP program capacity is made up of 2 parts, and that is the money that is borrowed under the program for project construction, as well as to make awards for future construction. So when you put those 2 parts together, they would total something less than the amount of credit that you have available. And the reason that we add the projects to be awarded, or projects that are awarded and not funded to the program, is there's a state law that requires a funding source anytime you award a project. I'd also like to note, going back to page 2, that the just completed process of allowing both tax-exempt and taxable CP, which we'll talk about in a moment, the rating agencies reviewed Aquit's credit rating, and we have heard back from both Moody's and S&P this morning, and both affirmed Aquit's AAA credit rating, which is the highest rating possible. So congratulations to everyone, and Aquit continues to hold the highest long-term and short-term credit ratings. So as we go to page 3, I mentioned earlier that we have added a taxable CP program, or the ability to issue taxable CP within our program. So we have both the ability to issue tax-exempt CP and taxable CP. And the reason we're adding the ability for taxable CP is there are certain CIP projects that would not be eligible for tax-exempt borrowing. The legal documents are complete. We actually received the ratings this morning, and we expect to complete in closing the program within the next 30 days. So page 4. So why do we have a CP program? And the reason we have a program is it can save us some money. As I mentioned, I'll mention that the capital program for Aquit going forward is approximately $1.3 billion, mainly because of the building of the second Atoca pipeline. Currently, your all-in cost for issuing notes under the CP program is 65 basis points, less than 1%. And that includes all of your costs, the interest rate, the credit facility, the remarketing agent, everything. If Aquit went out and borrowed money in today's market as revenue bonds, as long-term revenue bonds, you were looking at a borrowing cost of about 2.63%. So when you use the commercial paper as interim financing, instead of borrowing a huge amount of money that you can't invest at the same rate that you borrowed it at, we've estimated that Aquit saves about $2.1 million annually in interest costs. And we came to that calculation looking forward that there will be about $106 million of outstanding Aqua commercial paper throughout the 5-year time horizon, which is a savings about 2% on an ongoing basis. Page 5. So we'll switch lanes to the very successful bond sale that occurred and closed a few weeks ago. Aqua utilized a program through the OWRB called an FAP loan, and we took $38 million of outstanding commercial paper, which freed up capacity in our commercial paper program for future projects, and refunded it into long-term debt, as well as refunding a little over $15 million of the Series 2009 A and B bonds, which provided debt service savings. We're paying less than we were before. And through the transaction, Aqua will save about $5.7 million in debt service costs overall over the life of the loan. So very successful transaction. Congratulations. The third topic starts on page 6, and that is the finance plan. So we'll just do a quick walkthrough and reminder of our policy goals, and that is 2 times coverage on Aqua debt service, 1 times fixed charge coverage, always maintaining 90 days of cash on hand, avoiding rate shock by having gradual rate adjustments over time, and then using pay-go capital equal to or exceeding the annual appreciation, putting our money back to work for the water and wastewater system. So when we go to page 7, this is the CIP forecast over the next 5 years for Aqua. And you'll see at the top, it's broken down by water and wastewater projects. And on the bottom, we have those that will be financed with cash, pay-go, and then those projects that will be financed with debt. And then the total amount to be financed. As we go through doing the CIP and completing the projects, we will have the average residential bill will be impacted by going from, in 2021, 73.74 cents per month to about 90.53 cents in FY25. That's about a $4 to $5 a month rate adjustment on the residential bill to finance a billion plus CIP plan. So page 8, quite a bit of information on this sheet, but I'll draw your attention to the bottom where it talks about rate adjustments and coverage. The rate adjustments for water and wastewater over the forecast period, 22 through 25, are 5% or less for each rate adjustment in each year. You'll notice right below that, revenue bond coverage, we spoke of that as a policy target, and we exceed that 2% target. Fixed charge coverage of 1 times, and we certainly exceed that with our forecast. And if you look at all-in coverage, we exceed 2 times as well. The reason you see fluctuations in coverage, we are, as I said, attempting to have gradual rate adjustments and not have huge impacts on customers as we move through the CIP. In closing, at the beginning of the presentation, we talked about Aqua being rated AAA, and that is an impressive feat that over time, the way the utility has been managed and finances have been handled, that Aqua, through peaks and valleys, has been able to maintain, and certainly with COVID and all the things going on in the world now, to just be a firm AAA is very impressive. And the reason that is because of very sound financial metrics over time, a very strong management team that combs through finances and CIP on a daily basis, as well as, and very importantly, the transparency and the regular oversight of the trustees to Aquit. So having that AAA rating gives Aquit the ability to access the bond market when Aquit wants to. And the high rating also allows you to access the bond market at the very lowest rates possible. All of that said, by borrowing at the lowest rates possible, we are able to keep customer rates down as we go through the CIP process. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to give you an update on several things, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Dennis, I have a question.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
often do we get evaluated for our bond rating? Is it annual?
You will be evaluated each time you go to market. And if you don't go to market for over 12 months, the rating agencies will call and want to have a surveillance visit and discuss with you how your finances are and how the particular utility is doing. So if you're in the market, we will have a discussion with the rating agencies. If 12 months pass and you have not gone to market, we'll have a discussion with the rating agencies.
Okay. And then in your opinion and your experience, obviously this is, I think we're in unprecedented times right now, but is any of the current issues that we're facing right now with water utility back payments or anything, will that affect if we need to go back out for another bond rating, will that affect us at all?
Well, I think Aquit has done a very good job of managing the effects of COVID and I guess you're talking about delays in payments in customer payments.
Yes.
Is that what yes. So we had that discussion with the rating agencies. They understand the situation. You're in a boat with a lot of other utilities, and the strong cash position and your ability to manage through this situation and manage through the fact that folks may need to have a little extra time to pay their water bill, at this point did not seem to be a concern of either Moody's or S&P.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dennis. We really appreciate the information.
Absolutely. Thank you. And everybody stay safe. And it was good to see everyone.
Mr. Chairman, my last item is just a quick comment about our in arrears from our no longer disconnecting water service for late payments. We still have about 11,000 customers in arrears, and we're still just under $5 million. So this year, our budget was adjusted, predicting as much as a 3% bad debt, and we're still hovering around 1.5%. So we're doing quite well. Fortunately, we're not seeing that curve going up. It's been pretty stationary for the last few months, and our staff's been doing a great job reaching out to folks to help get them on a payment plan and help keep them in water, and provide the service that we normally do without impacting the financial stability of our organization. So just wanted to give you an update on that. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any citizens to be heard? Seeing none, I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.